Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever face media storm amid WNBA controversy. Off-court debates and high-profile absences shaped the Indiana Fever season as Caitlin Clark's scoring heroics are matched by contentious media scrutiny and league-wide discussions. In the ever-evolving landscape of women's basketball, few figures have drawn as much attention, both positive and controversial, as Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark. The 2026 WNBA season has seen Clark at the center of a media whirlwind, with her on-court brilliance matched only by the off-court debates swirling around her, her teammates, and the league itself. From high-scoring performances to heated post-game discussions, the Fever's recent run has become a microcosm of the broader issues shaping the WNBA's future. Just days ago, Elle Duncan, a former mainstay at ESPN, and now the face of Netflix's sports venture, as well as a new studio host for USA Network's WNBA coverage, stepped into the fray. Appearing on the Sports Gossip Show podcast on Monday, July 27th, Duncan addressed the relentless media scrutiny surrounding Clark. I would love for it to be very clear to the people who think they are her fans but are using her if she would say, "Stop that sh*t. I don't want it. I'm tired of it." As opposed to what we've seen, which is the media makes up these narratives, the media makes up this discourse, Duncan remarked, pushing back against the notion that the media alone is responsible for the Fever pitch of attention. Duncan's comments came on the heels of Clark's own candid interview with ESPN's Malika Andrews during the 2026 WNBA All-Star Weekend. Clark described the emotional toll of being under the microscope, saying, "I feel like media and journalism have a responsibility to tell the stories, and a lot of the time you guys are the ones controlling the narratives about what people read and what people talk about. And a lot of that is sometimes so far out of touch with what is reality." It's a sentiment that resonates with many athletes. But Clark's situation has become especially fraught as outside forces latch onto her image for agendas far removed from basketball. While Duncan was quick to clarify that Clark herself isn't to blame for the chaos, she did urge the three-time All-Star to go further in shutting down those who exploit her name. The media highlights the stories and they show it, but at the same time, the media did not make up that members of Congress are trying to get literal government intervention into whether you get fouled too hard. This stuff has to stop. Duncan's call is not just for Clark's benefit, but for the league as a whole. The players against her would love to be able to not wonder if they hard foul her, whether they're going to be called names or death threats against them. Duncan added, "So let's try to figure out how we can get you to that reality where you get to just focus on this." But the media storm isn't just about Clark's celebrity or the pressures of stardom. The Fever's locker room has become a flashpoint for some of the most contentious debates in sports. On Tuesday, July 28th, after Indiana's high-octane 105-95 went over the Seattle Storm, WNBA reporter Roberta sought to ask Clark about a rally outside the arena. The demonstration was reportedly inspired by teammate Sophie Cunningham's recent comments on the inclusion of transgender women in the WNBA. Cunningham had previously told ESPN she wanted to protect young girls in a locker room, remarks that drew both support and criticism, including backing from certain political figures and sections of the fan base. Roberta, who had already voiced her disapproval of the rally and Cunningham's stance, shared her intended question for Clark on social media. Anti-trans organizations promoted a rally right outside of the arena, inspired by Sophie Cunningham's comments regarding trans women in sports. Do you believe that trans women belong in sports? The question, loaded with social and political implications, highlighted how the Fever story has become about much more than basketball. However, neither Clark nor Cunningham attended the post-game media session, despite Clark's status as the night's leading scorer with 32 points and 7 assists. In their absence, Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, and Stephanie White faced the press, only to have the team's PR personnel intervene. The official statement read, "Neither our organization nor Sophie had any knowledge of this demonstration and no contact with its organizers. Our only goal as a team, whether at home or away, is to win basketball games and make Fever fans for life, and we are united in that mission." The Fever's response underscores the team's desire to keep the focus on basketball, but the intersection of sports, politics, and identity continues to challenge that aim. Clark's absence from the session, whether by design or circumstance, left unanswered questions about her perspective on the rally and the broader debate. If Roberta had been able to pose her question directly, It's likely the same carefully crafted PR response would have been issued, reflecting the team's cautious approach to sensitive topics. Meanwhile, on the hardwood, Clark's performance remains nothing short of spectacular. Her 32-point, 7-assist effort against Seattle not only propelled the Fever to victory, but also reinforced her status as one of the league's brightest stars. Yet, as Duncan and others have noted, the conversation rarely stays on the court. The scrutiny and external pressures, whether from media, fans, or political actors, have made Clark's journey uniquely challenging. For Duncan, the solution lies in reclaiming the narrative and centering the discussion on basketball. "I don't know how that happens, but it needs to," she admitted, acknowledging the difficulty of disentangling the sport from the maelstrom of social and political issues that now surround it. Clark, for her part, has repeatedly condemned the hate and vitriol directed her way, but as the situation escalates, it's clear that more decisive action, from players, media, and league officials alike, may be necessary to restore focus to the game itself. As the Fever push ahead in the 2026 season, the stakes remain high both on and off the court, with Clark leading the charge and the team navigating controversies that extend far beyond basketball. Every game, every press conference, and every public statement carries added weight. The hope among players, coaches, and fans is that, eventually, the conversation will return to the brilliance of the product on the floor, and that the athletes themselves will be able to compete without the constant specter of off-court drama. For now, the Indiana Fever continue to chase wins and unity in a season defined as much by its headlines as its highlights. The action is ongoing, and the eyes of the sports world remain fixed on Caitlin Clark, her teammates, and a league that's striving to balance competition with conscience.